Why do I do this to myself? Why do I do this to myself? These timelines, these margins are crazy, yo. Absolutely crazy, yo. Well, let me set this. We have liftoff. We have liftoff. We're in good shape. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin, ripped and ready. That's A. And then B. WBC says Dillian Whyte is next. Some people are getting their drawers all up in a bunch. Some people are getting their G-string all up in a bunch. But I have a different perspective, a different point of view on that. And in comes the man like John D. Lee. John D. Lee, how do you do?
Good afternoon, Raf. How are you?
I'm very well, my friend. I'm very well. We're running on some tight margins over here at the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio HQ is we're on some tight margins, but I can't help it, John. I gotta get it out there. I got to communicate with the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio people. I can't help myself.
There's loads going on today.
There's loads going on today. There's loads been going on.
Loads going on.
Last couple of days, it's been, well, where are we? Friday. If I do a quick little scroll back into, don't worry, folks, I'm coming to you. Not going to neglect you. If I do a quick little scroll back through my uploads, which I'm doing now, I think, where did it get crazy? Where did it get crazy? About 3 days ago, 4 days, 2 days? What does I say? 2 days. It's got to be 4 days. I think it was about 4 days ago when the WBC announced that Canelo was going to be their guy. He was the guy. He put his name in the hat, and that was a good 4 days ago. So it's been crazy, like for a good 4 days. It's been a crazy week because on the weekend we had Jessica McCaskey.
Well, that's kind of been and gone, that Canelo thing now, hasn't it?
Say that again. What's gone? What's gone?
The Canelo situation.
Oh, well, it's still ongoing though, isn't it? It's still ongoing because, hold on, why is the music so low? Well, it's still ongoing because DAZN are talking about they're not gonna.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
so they've refused the opponent.
So we hear, but is that official?
It's official as well.
It's official now.
Yeah, well,
has it come from their mouth? Because we've heard.
No. I could be wrong on that.
I don't think it's come from their mouth. It's from Coppinger. Not to say it's not true.
No. I get what you're saying. It's not official.
Yeah, but it hasn't come from them.
I'm confident it's the case though, because they don't want to. They're not paying 32 million for him to fight Yildirim, are they?
Yildirim, no.
He's saying he won't take a pay cut. So they're saying you fight a proper opponent. I think it's fair.
I think it's a fair exchange. It's fair exchange. We can't keep. So having said that, I mean, Rick Glazer's friend of the channel, but some people say he's very anti DAZN and anti Matchroom and anti this. But I have to say, and there may be some legitimacy in that. But I have to say, on this particular point, he's been proven. Well, it looks like he had a point. DAZN have been paid too much.
I don't know if Canelo is being paid too much, because he can easily do 400,000 pay-per-views with a poor opponent.
Yeah.
So 400,000 views with an opponent who's only getting a couple of mil, that's paying Canelo quite a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to attract new talent to a platform that nobody knew.
Yes.
So if you're going to establish yourself, you probably are going to have to overpay the big names to get them on your platform. Yeah,
I think Eddie acknowledged that.
However, if you contrast that to the absolute dross that Top Rank have been putting out, I think. Well, certainly what Eddie's been doing in the UK, because obviously we don't get DAZN here.
Yeah,
I think has been better than the absolute nonsense that Bob's been putting out there. Bob's put on a lot of fights as well.
He's put on a lot of fights, but
a lot of fights.
The numbers speak for themselves. The numbers speak for themselves. They've been low return.
They've been terrible.
Pretty dismal.
They've been appalling.
Yeah.
And even with the lower level fights that Eddie's put on, there's been some entertainment. There's been a bit of controversy. There's been some good ladies fights. Hey,
I'll tell you what, I've preferred some of the ladies fights to the men fights recently. The cards with the ladies on recently, what do you call her? Chardonnay, Shannon Chardonnay or whatever her name is. Courtenay. Yeah, Courtenay.
Good on Courtney.
Courtney, whatever her name is.
I just have to stick with the Brummie pronunciation.
I was trying to get French on it. It looked kind of French. I thought maybe, there was a bit of French involved.
Courtney, Raf.
Courtenay. I'm going to stick with Courtenay. Well, I'm international now, John. I'm international now.
There's nothing wrong with a bit of French, Raf. I wouldn't be fooling anyone if I tried to try my French accent. That's all.
So with the ladies fight, the Adkins a couple of weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago, that knockout from Estrada. I got to be honest with you. I'd rather watch a half decent or even. I'd rather watch some of these female headliners than a mediocre fight like Romero.
A good ladies fight is a bit like a cruiserweight fight because they haven't got. It's not a glamour situation. They're not getting paid big money, so they're prepared to go in there and have a proper dust up.
I saw more technique out of. Let me get back to where I was. I'll find a name. I saw more technique out of, hang tight, chaps, hang tight, chat, coming to you. I saw more technique out of Rachel Ball, who was a West Midlands girl, by the way. I saw more technique out of her than I have seen in a lot of these recent fights. Don't matter if it's Top Rank or Queensbury or Matchroom. I saw more technique out of that Rachel Ball than a lot of the male fighters. I got to be honest with you.
The ladies fighters, when they're good, I think they're really good. The problem is the depth of talent. However, you can offset that with the fact they're prepared to fight each other. But whilst the talent pool isn't particularly deep, the top of the tree are fighting each other.
It's funny because it's only been in the last few weeks or so where I've been talking about why there was a period of time where I stopped watching male tennis. And it's kind of funny because I was watching Rachel Ball. I was watching her and I was watching her positioning. I think I've done a few shows on that. I was watching her positioning. I was watching her technique and her positioning, technique, balance. It's a lot better than a lot of male fights. So I would rather watch a nice technical. I'm not applying that principle to short Shannon. But I'd rather watch a nice technical, no power female match than somebody like Romero winging every punch.
Yeah, but I mean that's just that. That wouldn't have been so bad if the right person had got the result right.
It wouldn't have been so bad.
No, because Marina has actually looked all right.
Yeah, he looked good, but that Romero.
yeah, but that's the point, isn't it? So they were basically relatively on the come up, weren't they? I don't think Marina's has got that many fights under his belt. I don't know his record that well.
No, Romero's got 12.
And if Marina's had been given the nod, you might not feel that. You might not feel that same way about it.
I might not feel so sour about it.
But when you got somebody shouting out before they throw every punch virtually with the way they're breathing,
mad.
It's that you couldn't telegraph it anymore. I don't know what more you could do to telegraph those punches.
I don't know. Maybe wear a bell around his grip. It's coming.
Yeah, but the thing with the breath is it actually came before he started to throw every time. Yeah. So with a bell, it still wouldn't start ringing until the hand started moving.
Reminds me of Monica Seles back in the Dizzy. Remember?
Yeah.
When she got stabbed at
Wimbledon. She looked a bit like a fat mouse.
She did when she got fat, but when she was slim, she looked good. But afterwards, she did look a bit like a fat mouse.
I think there's been a lot higher level competition for the more attractive ladies in tennis, and there has.
Than
you know, up to.
There has. Well, you know, the ref, he likes to be compassionate with these things, and he likes to.
Well, you can have a positive or a negative.
I like to put a positive thing. I like to think she had a marvelous personality. But anyway, anyway, I don't know. I might bump into her next time I'm in Santa Monica. But anyway, let's get into the chat before we start this thing proper. Well, it is started proper. But let's get into the chat. I was a little bit frazzled, but I think now I've kind of mellowed out a little bit. Andre is up in the building. What's going on, Raf? Yes. We're just cooking up this shiznix over here. The Rafi has been hard. He's back at work. You could call it full time, even though I get my bookings. I make my bookings. It is kind of full time. And so, you know, I wanted to get on yesterday. It's kind of frustrating. Couldn't get on yesterday. I dropped a little video, but I really wanted to do a live. But if there's no time, there's just no time. But I got Friday, and I've got time today, and I've got time on Saturday. And of course, we're going to be going live with the main. Well, we're going to be going live with the card. What do you call it, in Eddie Hearn's backyard. Just trying to make hay while the sun shines. I've dropped a video already today. I've got one waiting to be dropped. In fact, I think that's just a little quick one going live on the same topic. That'll be going live any minute now, just for the people who don't like the long form videos. I like to drop short form videos as well. So I got a short one on this weigh-in situation. So yeah, we're banging it out. Just getting in there, getting stuck in, getting in the trenches, and getting that work in, putting that work in. So good to have you up in here, Jeffrey DeRuzon, all the way from over there in the USA, as is Andre. Good to have that international flavor. Good to have you guys coming over to add your perspective, add the USA perspective to the UK perspective. Much appreciated. And of course, we got John Daly right up here in here on the panel. And who we got else? Who else we got? Who will gas first? Well, we're going to be showing you some pictures. I hope that Sky don't yank my shizzle. But I'm going to be clever about it. I'm getting cleverer with these guys these organizations who like to yank people's shizzle. So I'll do it cleverly. Trust me. That doesn't guarantee anything. But anyway, where are we at here? We're going to be talking about that. We got we got James Daly. Sorry, James Daly. We got James Jameson. Dylan looking in good shape indeed. We're going to get to the visuals. As a matter of fact. Rat-tat-tat-tat. What can I do here? I'll actually bring it up on the screen in a short minute. Povetkin's late big payday. I think Povetkin's been getting paydays all his life, has he not? He's been. I don't think Povetkin's short of a penny. I don't think Povetkin's short.
He might have made a good bit of coin against Vlad.
Yeah,
and against AJ.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I don't think Povetkin's short of a penny, James. No way, no how. Plus, he's been fighting. I mean, who else has he fought? He fought Vlad back in the day. So he's making money back in the day anyway, even though Vlad was notoriously stingy.
No. Rubinski did that card.
Rubinski.
Yeah. They made Vlad go to Russia with Raf.
Oh, bloody
their money's long.
Oh, damn.
They've got that KGB money behind them.
Yeah, they also got oligarchy money. They got
you can't be messing with Rubinski when it comes down to cash.
No. So believe me, Povetkin's been getting money from time. He fought Vladimir. That was a big one. But even in more recent times, who's he been fighting on Matchroom the Zone? He's fought AJ, obviously. He's fought Pricey. Parker. Did he fight Parker? He
hasn't fought Parker.
Hunter.
Hunter.
He fought Hunter very recently. Pricey, as just mentioned. Hey, Povetkin is not short of a few bob, as we say over here in the UK. When I was a kid, I always wondered what a bob was. What the hell was a bob? I had to ask a workman one day, what's a bob? I think he said it was 5p. What's a bob?
It's a shilling.
It's a shilling. That's 5p.
Yeah. Don't you remember? You're old enough to remember the old 5p's.
I remember the.
So you used to have the pre-decimalisation 5p's.
And
yeah, that was a shilling.
Shilling. Okay, a shilling for our international folks. Shilling works out these days as 5p. What is 5p? That's 5 pence. That's the currency over here in the UK, pounds and pence. We never went to the euro, and now we out to the euro type of thing. So, whatever. Okay. So, Jeffrey DeRoujon, hit them likes. It's enough of us to have all likes, 100%. 100%. So we're going to scroll down. I'm going to get through everybody in the chat before we get hardcore into the thing. So where we at here? Povetkin's last big pay. I don't know because
maybe it means it's his last one.
Well, I know, but I don't know if it is going to be his last one. I don't know if it's going to be his last.
If he puts a good account of himself, Eddie will give him another run out. Because after the loss to AJ, Eddie hasn't been shy about putting Povetkin in against people.
Povetkin is a tough competitor, and for those people who say, "Well, he's finished now," well, I beg to differ. Hunter, who gave Usyk all kinds of problems, because I watched that fight properly for the first time the other day, a couple months back. And for the first half of that fight, Hunter was taking it to Usyk. He was taking it to him. And Hunter had been out of the ring for a considerable time prior to that fight. And that same Hunter came back and some people, what was it, a draw? Was that? Yeah, that fight.
It was a draw.
That fight was ruled as a draw. But, for me, I could have given that fight. I think I had that fight marked for Povetkin by a round.
It's a very close fight.
That was a very close fight. Very close fight.
A lot of people are talking about it being a robbery, but you could have it around either way.
Yeah, that wasn't a robbery. I don't see how that was a robbery.
If people want to know what a robbery is, go and watch Rowley versus Martinez. That's a robbery.
Yeah, that's a straight up robbery. Dillian Whyte in the Povetkin tracksuit. That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. Do I have some footage of that? I think
it wasn't just Dillian as well.
It was a whole thing.
Caldwell had to do an interview.
I might have to drop a little message. Phil, Spain, UK. Okay, so
at all.
Phil, no. I appreciate that.
How are you, John? Anyway, you okay?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm back at work. The COVID thing's easy enough. I'm back at work, more hours, so there's less hours for this. But really and truly, to be honest with you, I really enjoy doing this. I wish I could do this more. So I have to work to get the money. I do enjoy my work, but if I'm honest, I do enjoy working on this stuff. It's more of a challenge to me than my other stuff. And I like a challenge. But yeah,
you're doing a great job, Rafi. You know what I mean? I gotta say, I'm in my 50s as well, and in terms of boxing and trying to inform the public about it, it's a very sort of underrated thing, really. Yeah. You've either got to have boxed, like I boxed for like 14 years at an amateur level. Yeah. I had a few professional fights. I didn't do that well,
We've spoken before on Twitter, haven't we? Haven't we, Phil? We've spoken before on Twitter.
Yeah. I think I've spoken to you before in the past.
And you know,
I'm the TW Design guy. TW Designs, that guy.
You're that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, wicked, man. Wicked. And shout out to TW Designs.
But it's one of those things that the age always catches up before the mind.
Right.
So my body can still think that it can do what it can do. Like I went for a run yesterday and I try and keep myself fit, but in terms of the actual the mental side of it, I couldn't take a punch anymore. It would lay me out.
Dang, you found that out? Did you find that out?
It's 100%. There's like little guys that walk around and go to a boxing gym. Like I'm near Darlaston boxing gym, by where I live.
Yeah,
and there's loads of boxing gyms all over Birmingham. You got that Rachel Ball who fought that. Yeah, what was her name? Shannon Courtney and all that. There's boxing gyms all over the world, and the beauty of boxing is the fact that it's actually become. I'll put this here. It's actually become like a global phenomenon, but it's always been there in terms of that. I think the government should do more for boxing than they've actually done, particularly ex-boxers like myself and other people that have actually done it, and that, because it's very difficult. You get in a bad fight. This is what's not mentioned to people. If you get in a bad fight and this goes on in a full war, and I'm not on about a professional fight, I'm on about an amateur level.
Yeah.
You can have concussion for a long time, you know.
Yes.
You can be walking around like I had things in my head and all this, that, and the other. And they think that it's all about a high level of boxing, but it's not. The reason why boxing is so high in the UK is because of people like myself who go out and in the past they've fought people that have gone up the levels and this, that, and the other. And you know, I'm well educated. I did a university degree when I was 20. You know, I'm not a stupid guy, but I must say that the UK government, they need to learn from places like Cuba, Russia, and and America should be learning as well. They should actually be doing something in terms of, and I think Rick Glazer said it on your channel before, didn't he? It needs a certain overview of boxing, which is not completely linked to the promoters, your Lou DiBellas, your Al Haymans, your Eddie Hearns, all these guys. It needs something that actually goes above that, because people actually do fight, and you know, it's not always at that high level of boxing that the people actually do things. I don't know what are your thoughts on it? Do you think there should be something that should be done for people like myself and other people that fought before and that?
What would you like to be done? What would you like to be done, Phil?
I'd like something to be done in terms of the government. I think like you can work, and then you get your universal credit, and then you get if you haven't got that, you might have a couple of weeks off work in about 5 years. They should see that you was an ex-boxer, and I think they should actually show some form of respect to that.
Yeah, how could they do that? Could you give me an example how they could do that?
I think maybe something in terms of if somebody's fought at ABA level, and if they've been at professional level, if you've got your papers and you can actually prove that you've been at ABA or professional level. Sorry, my phone's going off. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
If you've been at professional level, at ABA level, I do think the government should definitely have something where they say, like, listen, you've done that. Do you know what I mean? You've fought at that level. You know, I just think.
What did you give me an example, though, Phil? Give me an example. What could they do? What can they do?
What was his name? Kurt Langland. He fought Sugar Ray Leonard.
Curtin Lang, yeah.
Well, he fought Sugar Ray Leonard, and he was on a bench in London, in Richmond Park.
Oh no!
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. There should be some support for those guys who clearly suffered.
And that guy,
he was special.
Technically, look at Harold Graham. There's another perfect example of a boxer that was a great boxer.
I hear you totally. I was a big fan of Harold.
I don't want to keep on chatting. I know I've got
No, it's okay. No, that's cool. That's cool. You've come in, and I'm glad that you have. I don't know what's in that cup, but I don't think it's coffee, but it's good. It's all good in the hood.
All good in the hoodlum, man. All good in the hood.
All good in the hood. Okay, but glad to have you in here, especially coming from the local area. We're going out worldwide, so it's good. It's good. John D. Lee, you want to come in on that? You want to come in? Where's John? Oh, there's John. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just thinking how you structure it. It's a problem with professional sports.
Yeah.
Because you actually getting professional footballers going bankrupt now.
I know. It's crazy.
You know, and they don't take anywhere near the same sort of damage.
No.
that a boxer takes.
Yeah.
They get money much more easily.
Yep.
Once they're at Premiership level, not necessarily lower level. And they don't have any protection either.
Yeah.
So what would I mean? It's very difficult to organise and put in some sort of infrastructure.
Yeah.
To teach sportsmen who are young men, probably got quite a bit of bravado in giving huge sums of money, how to manage that money, because they've got to make enough money to survive their entire life in about 10 years.
Yes.
And those are the successful ones.
Yes. Okay. So we've done a little bit of background. We've done a little bit of what should happen for retired boxers who have suffered CTE. But I'll counter that by saying, listen, they don't even do things for Army veterans. They don't even do things for Army veterans. So how are they going to jump over to the boxers? Well, that's not a reason to say why they shouldn't do anything. But I think people who have worked for the state, or even boxers or sportsmen, they could have little programs for them. They could have some kind of little programs for them. But that's maybe a story for another day. But we've touched on it. We've got people thinking, and okay. So thanks
for that. Thanks for that.
No, it's a good suggestion. It's not something that I haven't spoke of before. I've spoke of it before, and I totally understand. Perhaps one day we'll have to have a round table with the people involved and actually think about what governments, not just the British government, but governments in general, can do for their ex-sportsmen who have fallen on hard times. They've fought for the country, their respective countries, and that brings prestige to their respective countries, and maybe some kind of program. But that's another thing for another time. And excellent ideas. So let's get back into the chat and let's get back on track. Okay, so we got the God of War, we got the Gucci Kid, we got Uncle Bert Apostrophe, we got Big Simpin, the Prudent Man, James Jameson, Andre, Jeffrey DeRuzon, and many more. But let's get into this. Let's get into this thing now. Let's get into the weigh-ins. You kick off, John. Did you see the weigh-ins? I take it you saw the weigh-ins.
Yeah, I watched all of them. Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, let's go through. I got the visuals. Let me share the visuals with you. Okay, so what is that there? What is that? How did I get there? No, that's not what I want. Here we are. Let me share my screen with you. Boom. Is this it? Boom. There we are. I think you should be. Oh, that don't look too good. Let's tidy it up.
I sure we need that one, Ralph. I don't know what Eddie's looking at.
He's just looking at his hams. He's wondering if he's been working his hams.
I'll tell you what, Andy from the Ironworks has put a bit of weight on during lockdown.
Has he?
He's there.
He's there.
He's there with the face mask. He's got a right punch going on.
Yeah, he's here. But he's always he's had that for a while though. He's
got bigger.
Has he got bigger?
Oh, he's been. I don't know what he's been doing during lockdown, but eating's been a large part of it.
Yeah. Well, maybe skinny jeans days are over. Maybe he's skinny.
I remember him when he was lean. He had a punch on for Lycra back in the day.
OMG. And for those people who are missing what we're talking about, Andy over here is a local lad from the West Midlands, and the Ironworks, as I'm sure you'll be able to deduce, is a gym. But I think that might. I don't want to disrespect Andy, but I think that might be due to the chemicals over here. You take those chemicals.
There was probably quite a bit of that has gone on.
Yeah,
back in the day, Andy was pretty lean and mean.
Yeah, but now with the chemicals,
I don't think that's just a bubble gut, Raf.
No.
I think there's
Yeah.
He's got a healthy girth going on.
Yes.
Maybe a bit of chemicals, but
maybe a bit of chemicals, but I don't want to speculate. But there we are anyway. So yeah. Let me just go through this here. What's this? Who's this? Who's that? Let's get to the main. I know why people have come here, so let's not. Okay, well, let's touch on Katie Taylor. Let's touch on who's that? Pursoon. So Pursoon, Delphine Pursoon. She's on the scale there, and obviously they would have made weight.
To be honest,
Delphine Pursoon.
I'll just stick with Pursoon. I find it easier.
Yeah,
Pursoon was heavier than last time, and she was still a good bit under the weight limit. She's very she's one of those people that struggles to put weight on. So she came in light. She's obviously lean. I mean, I don't think there's an issue with strength. Some people are just light, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think she's just one of those people.
Just one of those people. And then where is she? That's Delphine. And there's Katie Taylor. Ireland's Katie Taylor. Psalms 18. She's got a biblical verse there. And there we see Katie, obviously made weight.
Katie was about half a pound under. So
half a pound under.
She'd obviously timed her weight or made her weight very professionally, shall we say. Very
professionally. No David Benavides situation occurrences here. These are two professionals. And where is it? Oh, Katie having a little chin wag. Seems like a nice girl. And over here, I don't know if you can see my cursor moving, but over here we had Dillian Whyte. Well, that's Alexander Povetkin. You got Big Coogie there.
Coogie had the pins out.
Yeah, the pins out. I noticed that.
A bit of calf work, Coogie does.
I noticed that with Coogie, and beyond the screen there, you can't really see him, but out there was also Dillian Whyte. Hold on, this is a good shot. There's Coogie with Povetkin there behind him. What's going on here? Come on in, guys. Stop waiting outside. Who's this? I said he earns foot. Okay, and in came Alexander Povetkin. He tipped the scales at, 16 stone. I've got the info here.
I converted it to pounds. I you remember the pounds. Wasn't it 224 pounds?
Well, that's good that you converted it to pounds, because I didn't. Povetkin came in impressive shape, weighing 16 stone and 5 pounds. How many pounds is that, John? 16 stone, 5 pounds. Did you do the conversion?
Hold on.
Yeah.
229 with the tracksuit and trainers. I reckon a true weight of about 224, and that's pretty much what he's.
I say 225. I say 225. That means
all right, Raf.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing over a pound.
No. But, what did you say? What did you say?
So it's 229.
Yeah,
16 stone, 5 pounds.
I mean, you said that it was
224.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize.
With the trainers and the trousers.
I get you.
I'd say he's about £5 lighter than what he's scaled on.
Yeah, we're in the same ballpark. I'm still mindful of the Andy Ruiz situation when people.
But looking at him,
people were saying that his sombrero weighed 5 pounds, each shoe weighed 5 pounds, and
I tend to allow around
5 pounds. So I think they accounted that for him for his weight, but we know that it was much less than that. But I hear you, about 4 pounds, 5 pounds. I agree.
4 or 5 pounds for a pair of tracky bottoms and a pair of trainers. I think
pair of trainers. Yeah. No sombrero, but still.
No. But either way, anyway, even 229.
Yeah,
that's pretty much where Povetkin always comes in.
Yes,
he doesn't look too fleshy.
No,
he's not ripped to shreds or anything, but he looks good and healthy. He looks good.
Looks good and healthy. He absolutely does. Phil from Spain, who's in Wolverhampton. Are you still with us, Phil? I can't see. Phil's gone. What the hell's this? How long has Phil been gone?
Not too sure.
Let me drop the link in the chat again, just in case. Just in case. Boom, boom, boom. Link is in the chat again, Phil. Okay, and anybody else actually? Okay, so Povetkin, 229 pounds. That's 16 stone, 5 pounds to us. And then in came Dillian Whyte rather comically in the outfit, same kind of outfit that Povetkin came over to the UK in. And I'm wondering where the hell at short notice do you get the same outfit that your opponent wear? Or I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Was this sportsdirect.com? Do they sell it? I have no idea.
I'm not too sure, but you know,
but you got the
internet. You can pick these things up relatively easily.
You can get these things up. You can pick them up. The humor in it. I do appreciate the humor. It was hilarious. And before we go any further,
I think Dillian had a bit more swag than Sasha's team rocked up in there.
Yes, he had more swag for sure. Even down to the flat cap. There is, of course, Xavier Miller. For those who don't know, I interviewed him even before the news broke. I interviewed him around that time
he denied that he'd been made head coach in your interview, didn't he?
He denied that he had been officially made head coach. I think
he didn't say he wasn't going to be.
Yeah, I think it was a matter of semantics.
He said it hadn't been confirmed, didn't he?
It hadn't been confirmed. So I think it was a matter of semantics. I think all the pointers were pointing in the direction that he was the new head coach, but he said he hadn't been officially told, and so he could not say that just yet. But just let me get into the chat. Let me rinse. What is this? What does this say? Based on Atlas accounts of his setup, I suspect Povetkin gets rinsed by who controls him. Really? I don't think he's getting rinsed. I don't think. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen what you've seen. But it's an interesting hypothesis. Povetkin seems like a happy man who gets paid. I don't really know much about the man outside of boxing. Seems like a very private dude. I don't know nothing about him outside of boxing, but I'd be very surprised if a man of his years experience is not getting paid healthily. I'd be very surprised. Even if Povetkin gets relatively blown out, I reckon Pov could still be fed to Bakoli, who lost out on this card. Feeding Povetkin to people. Like I said before, he just fought Hunter, and in my opinion, beat Hunter. So I don't think
I'm not sure Bakoli's going to go rushing into fighting Povetkin.
Yeah,
even if Dillian completely cleans his clock.
Yeah. I still think that Povetkin is a very, very serious competitor. Let me just scroll down this thing. As a matter of fact, let's not keep you in too much suspense. I'll come back to that. Let's get Dilly on the scales. Okay, and my first impressions are that Dillian Whyte is in shape because he's been over in Portugal now probably for like 2 months, something of that region. If he couldn't,
it's a lot more than 2 months, right?
There you go, minimum of 2 months.
No, he's been there since April, before lockdown.
May, June, July, August. Okay, so
he's been there since March.
March. Okay, damn. So we're looking at 4 or 5 months. He's been over there for a minimum of 4 months, maybe up to 5 months. That's crazy. But what I'm saying is that if Dillian Whyte could not get in shape with that much time, warm weather training over there in Portugal, then something would be very, very wrong. And as you see there, Dillian's looking thick and lean at the same time. Damn, that was a big jump. Thick and lean. What you seeing, John? What you seeing there?
Well, I was going to wait for you to make the official announcement before I make a comment because I've got a few comments to make.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get to the weight. Where is that thing? Let me get to the weight. Where is that window? Too many windows open. Yeah, so Dillian Whyte comes in. Remember, Dillian Whyte came in at his career highest of 19 stone 5 pounds for his last victory over Marius Wack in December. Remember, over there in the rear on the Anthony Joshua undercard. But today he comes in at a significantly lighter 18 stone 6 pounds for Saturday showdown. So that's like pretty much 1.5 stone lighter. 18 stone 6 ounces. Have you done the conversion for that, John?
Yeah, 252.
252 pounds.
What's interesting is he was 247 against AJ.
247.
Yeah, and he's carrying less body fat now than he was against AJ by a significant amount.
Aha. Yeah, I concur with that.
There's no. I mean, he had moves against AJ.
He did.
You know, he could have worn a sports bra in that fight. and okay, he's not shredded or anything, but he's not carrying significant body fat. No. And you don't necessarily need to be shredded. I mean, you know, that's more of an aesthetic thing. I think Dillian is looking in good shape. He
is.
So, but it's a lot of weight still to be carried around the ring. 252.
Yeah, it is 252. AJ's now gone down to the 242 mark.
Wasn't he 238 against Ruiz?
238. Was he that light? Jeez.
Yeah, he was. Jeez. But he did say he doubts he's going to be that light again.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's AJ's absolute limit. I like AJ anywhere from there to 242.
I like AJ at 240. Two in between that. Yeah, I agree. In between that 238 and 242, I'm cool with AJ in that region.
But by the same token, because Dillian had to lose so much weight.
Yeah.
And Tony Bellew mentioned this when he was talking to Adam Smith. He hasn't lost too much weight too fast.
Who are we talking about? Are we talking about Dillian Whyte?
Dillian now. Because he's lost 1.5 stone. But he's done it over
5 months.
Yeah, or if it was quite quick or significant, that was quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
So whichever way he did it, because of the weight he's at now, he obviously hasn't carried on losing weight the whole time through that camp, in my opinion.
No.
So he's had plenty of time to acclimatise and get strong at his current weight, which is important.
Yes.
But
yes.
Gas tanks, I've seen people talking about them in the in the chat, and I think people are going to be very interested about his gas tank in this.
Yes. Bro, this is dude. Damn it. What? Bro, this is dude. I don't know those types of. I don't know. You lost me there. IBT. Okay, we're staying with the chat for a little bit. Flatly Fury is ducking War Chisora. Never mind AJ. And didn't he fight him twice?
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I don't think he's ducking Chisora.
He's got 2 wins over Chisora.
Yeah.
After Wilder and Click, that's the next name.
Yeah, that's his next biggest name. He needs a Dallas Cowboy. Where are we now? Talk about Flatly Fury, ducking Whyte, Chisora, AJ, and Povetkin, amongst others. Yeah, we're going to talk about the WBC situation, what the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, has said. JP says Fury's a bum, not one title defense. Fraud. OMG. Damn, everybody's up in here today. Hey, champ, just dropping in before my show. Yes, BWTM. Good to have you up in here. Not many good old school boxing gyms left in around Birmingham. Well, there's plenty of them. There's plenty of them.
It depends what you mean.
I don't know. Exactly.
Well, I'm having I'm having a brain freeze on you.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to you. That's no problem. Fury is the worst heavyweight champion ever, all-time worst. I don't know if he's the worst. AJ and Whyte do him in one round. Damn, that's highly optimistic. That's highly optimistic. Hey, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
But I can't see anyone doing Fury in a single round.
I don't see him taking him out in the round. Maybe a lucky punch from the gods. Would that do it? But even so, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure anyone would actually try. I think they'd have a deal first.
Yeah, maybe Wallin. Maybe Otto Wallin would try. I don't know. Try and...
Well, no, because Wallin... If you actually watch the Wallin fight back...
Yeah, work to the body. A lot of body work.
The body work was abandoned once he opened up the cut.
Very, very silly.
And if he'd have carried on with the body work,
yeah,
he may well have got him out of there.
I think so. I
and I don't think you're getting Fury out that quickly. There's a lot of man to knock out. But I don't think Fury's can take it to the body that well.
No. That's certainly... I believe that if anybody's looking to beat Luke Fury, aka Tyson Fury, I say you got to be looking upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs.
You know what's interesting?
Upstairs, downstairs. Yeah.
In about 2016, that's what AJ said you'd need to do to beat him. OMG. He was interviewed in Dubai about his opponents at the time, which included Parker, who was a champion at that point, Wilder, and Fury.
Yeah.
And he said you got to chop the tree down, work the body.
Got to chop the tree down and work the body. I agree with that 100%. 100%. What time does the fight start in? Come on, I think over here in the UK we're going to be looking about 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Probably.
I think the ring walk's 10 o'clock for Dillian.
Okay, 10 p.m. Which would
East
mean
Coast
that
would be 5 p.m.
5 p.m. West Coast would be what? That's 2. Yeah, 2 p.m. on the West Coast, 5 p.m. on the East Coast. I don't know what time it is in the mountains. You'd have to talk to El Jefe about that. And 10 p.m. over here in the UK. That would be what? Dillian said he was over in Portugal, and that was the same time zone as over here. So, yeah, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. over in Europe. Say 10 p.m. to be safe, because that's going to be KT. That's going to be Katie Taylor versus Persoon. So those are the times, of course, over here, Rafael Dawkins Combat Radio. We shall be live with that one. Okay, moving on in the chat until we get back to some more talk on this fight and other related matters. Wilder is the biggest. Wilder's the biggest. OMG, this JP fella is really bringing.
He's upset about something.
He's upset. Who upset JP? Who upset JP?
I think it was a mixture of Tyson and Deontay got him upset.
I think so. Luke. Let me read this before I show.
I'm sticking with Tyson because I don't know if you ever saw it, but I saw Tyson Fury on Sky Sports on a Saturday afternoon when they were profiling him as a teenager. And his dad saying that he'd named him Tyson because he was going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. Or he was going to be heavyweight champion of the world. Tyson was only about 16 then. Yeah.
Oh, they did have faith in the boy, but
he specifically said that he named him Tyson for that reason.
Yeah, I've heard him say that for sure.
And I think Luke is actually his middle name. I don't know what they call him within his family circles, but
yeah. I think it's Luke. I think it might be Luke. Dillian Whyte said it was Luke, unless he was just pulling.
Yeah, but Dillian loves saying stuff like that. Like he was the one who put Femi out there for AJ. And if you know Nigerians, if they meet someone who isn't Nigerian, they'll give you an English name.
Yeah.
And amongst Nigerians, they'll give you a Nigerian name. That's how they introduce themselves. So I'm sure all of his life, AJ's gone by both. Yeah,
that makes sense. What we got here? We got Raf Dawkins talk about Flatley Fury ducking watches. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the WBC situation. What the WBC have said, it's got some people with their G strings all up in a bunch because Mauricio Suleiman has come out and said that Dillian Whyte, if he wins this fight, he will be next. Whoever wins that fight will have to fight Dillian Whyte next. So that's Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. It's an interesting situation because Deontay Wilder, if he wins, then that's one win per piece, and one draw. So they're flat, they're even again. So I would imagine the Shelley Finkles, the Frank Warrens, the Bob Arams are going to be saying, well, no, they're one apiece. We need to, this is tortuous interference on the part of the WBC. We need to settle this thing once and for all. I say do one. Dillian's been number one ranked now for 1,000 days. I don't care about the other arguments saying, well, he could have done this, he could have done that. What did Tyson Fury do? To leapfrog everybody, including Dillian, to get to the fight? What did he do? You're talking about, oh, well, Dillian could have done this, Dillian could have. Hey, what did Tyson Fury do? That's my retort to that. He did diddly squat. He came off.
I can answer that, Raf.
Well, no, man, I've just got a bit more. He came off a drug ban and got straight in with a title shot after taking 2 non-ranked or extremely low-ranked opponents. Came off a drug ban to do that, to get a crack at the WBC. John D. Lee.
No, what he actually did, he went, he failed an Angelone test.
Yeah.
Then he got stripped of his titles.
Yeah.
Then he put on an inordinate amount of weight. He must have been 30 stone plus.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lost it. And I think that's what made him appealing as a voluntary to Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, I don't dispute any of that. But I'm saying, what did he?
No. But he was a voluntary defense, Raf.
He was a volunteer. Yeah. So what did he do?
No, but it's a voluntary defense, isn't it?
He was a
volunteer. He made himself look vulnerable. However, he had the name recognition, which was appealing to the Wilder camp.
He had a name recognition, which was appealing to the Wilder camp. I totally accept that. But I have to ask the question, what did he do in terms of his WBC ranking, in terms of WBC sanctioned fights? What did he do to jump over the number 1 ranked opponent?
Well, yeah. What, as a mandatory?
Well, anything. What did he do in the WBC to get straight?
You mean the last fight where he got made mandatory?
He got made mandatory by beating who?
Well, no, he didn't. What happened was Mauricio made him a mandatory after the fight was already scheduled. So I don't really know whether that was something that Fury did or whether Wilder petitioned for that to be a mandatory. Mm-hmm. It's a bit murky, that.
Yeah. Khabib's hat. So Khabib's hat said, thanks for having me on live, guys. How many names have you got, Phil? How many names do you got? Ironworks is my local gym. No, not at all. He didn't talk too much at all. Not at all. She looks strong. I think Katie is. Yeah, well, you can follow her on Twitter and let her know that you're appreciative of her.
Raf. I might have to start an intervention here.
An intervention. I don't know.
I don't know that we want to encourage cyber stalking.
Well, no, we're just saying that, we could just say, excuse me, Katie, I hope I'm not interrupting your day, but I find you very aesthetically pleasing, and good luck with the fight. So got the link, Raf. Yeah, the link's in the chat. Posted a couple of times, just popped it in just then. Popped it in then also. Where are we? Cal L up in the building. Salute to the Combat Radio Nation. Yeah, so smash that like button, folks. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are not subscribed, don't be afraid. to hit that share button, and certainly do not be afraid to hit that super chat button. It's perfectly legal. It's a legal activity. Okay. No probs, chaps, on Bacoli. Just
Raf, just a quick one.
Yeah.
I think there may be an error in Povetkin's weight.
Uh-oh.
I think you said 16 stone 5 pounds. I think it was 16 stone 5 ounces, wasn't it?
I think it was 16 stone 6 ounces. But let me go back and check. Let me go back.
Because if you said ounces, he's weighed in at 224.
Let me go back and check. Here now, 16 stone 5. Hold on. No. 16 stone 5 pounds. Yeah, it says Povetkin was also in impressive shape, weighing in at 16 stone 5 pounds.
Well, maybe my maths wrong.
16 stone 5 pounds.
Let me double check my.
Yeah, let me do a little check as well. So we're both doing it. Let's clear that. So 16.
Because he's been reported on the American press as weighing in at 224, which is 16 stone dead.
16 stone dead is 224, but this says 16 stone 5 pounds. So that's 224 plus.
Well, that would be 229.
Which would equal 229 pounds.
Which is what we said earlier.
Yeah,
it's all right. I was looking for something else while we were talking.
Yeah. No, I think
it's been reported.
Yeah.
On the American media as 224.
Yeah, they're wrong. They're wrong. Maybe they took off his trousers and his shoes. Maybe they've done the deduction.
It wasn't ounces. It was definitely pounds.
It was definitely pounds, according to the Sky News report, and it is, of course, on their.
Yeah, I can trust them ahead of America. Anyway, either way, Povetkin's in good shape.
Yes, Povetkin is in very good shape. In the chat right now. So hit all the good buttons, folk, and we get it. Excuse me. We're gonna get into this thing deeper. Muhammad Ali was a fake, no joke too. That's life. Muhammad Ali was a fake. I think you're cannot co-sign on that.
I'm not co-signing that.
I'm not going
to. Regular listeners to this channel will know I'm not necessarily Muhammad's biggest fan. But at the end of the day, Muhammad was not a fake.
I find that I can't see anybody to make that argument. Anybody wants to make that argument, feel free to do so in the chat. What's this Billy Bongo saying? Is saying that, oh, that's not very complimentary, Katie Taylor. Oh dear, that's not very complimentary at all. Frank the French up in the building. How do you do? White is looking like Chisora. I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You mean when Chisora kind of got in shape? Ali was overrated.
Derek's been in good shape since he's been associated with
David Hay.
He looks in better shape.
Most certainly.
Maybe it's a reference to that. Because they're both a similar shape, aren't they? They're quite thick set,
big set guy,
shorter heavyweights, really.
Yes. And so, just to move this thing on a little bit, both looking at each other without eye contact. Look at the pupils of Povetkin right over there, and Dillian Whyte also sizing up his opponent. Okay, and of course they come face to face. Dillian Whyte declined the handshake initially, and then settled for a fist bump. I don't know if we're going to catch it here. Maybe not. Okay, I'm not even going to risk playing it, but I'm a risk taker. Can I resist the risk? Okay, let me do some little bit of magic, which should keep me safe. Let's change the speed of this shiznix. And okay, come down. Boom. And
excellent.
so yeah, Just taking certain precautions with this thing so I don't get any issues with. Okay, so boom, and there it was. There it was, the fist bump. Okay, both guys in great shape. Both guys in great shape. So let's see what's happening in the chat before I move this thing along. Billy Bongo says, okay, Billy, I don't know if you've been on the Sherry Bing, Billy, or whatever, but taking it a bit too far, my friend. You're taking it a bit too far. So we're going to have to say adios for now. I'll say adios for now. A little bit, you're insulting a lot of boxers there, my friend, and that's not what we're about over here. Yes, we will have a laugh, but there is, there's a line. There's a line. And yes. Hamed up in the building. Yeah, we had a crazy guy. We had a crazy. Yeah. I think there was clearly some trolling involved, but giving him a nice little timeout. Okay, so let us press on with this thing. I don't know what the hell I just did there, but I'm pretty damn sure that's not what I wanted to do, but hopefully we don't have no adverse effect on the chat. Okay, everything seems to be in good shape. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on now. And the situation is, what's going on here? Povetkin is 6'1" and Whyte's supposed to be 6'4". Clearly not. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if Povetkin...
I've seen Sasha listed at 6'1" and 6'2".
Yeah, Sasha could be up 6'2".
I've also seen Dillian listed at 6'3" and 6'4". Yeah. So the truth could just be somewhere in between.
Yeah, Sasha could be 6'2.5", and Dilly could be 6'3.5". I'd settle for that. Okay, so as we move on, Povetkin 6'2". Yeah, there's conflicting reports. Seems like there's an inch either way. Okay, so
there's 2 centimeters in an inch. So
2.5, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's even more complex than that. I don't think it's a straight 2.5, Raf.
Okay.
So, if he gives his height in decimal in centimeters, and meters, then there's always going to be a conversion. And so he's getting rounded up and down, and I think that's the same for a lot of fighters as well.
Yeah, rounded up and rounded down. Okay, so let's move the story on. I've got written down on my paper here. Okay, so what are your picks, people? People in the chat, what are your picks for this fight? Who you got winning? What part of the fight and how? Who do you have winning and how? How do I see this thing going? Well, I think my pick for the fight is Dillian Whyte. Is he going to knock him out? That's the question. Is it Dillian Whyte by KO? Yeah, I'm gonna go Dillian Whyte by KO in between the 8th and the 12th round. Can I see Povetkin winning? Yes, I can. And if I were a betting man, if I was going to put a bet on it, then the better odds would be for Povetkin. So that's where I put my money. I put my money on Povetkin if I was a betting man. But who do I think will win? Simply for the odds, but who do I think will win? I think it's going to be Dillian Whyte in between 8 and 12. But I would be horrified, but not shocked if Povetkin won it. Keep your predictions coming through. I'm going to read them out. John D. Lee, your prediction.
Yeah. This is a close fight as far as I'm concerned. I can see them both winning by knockout. I think if it's a points affair, I think Dillian will get the nod. Unless it's a real robbery. because it's a matchroom card.
Yeah.
I think he'll get home advantage if it goes to the scorecards. I've watched a couple of fights.
Yeah.
And what I noticed that Hunter had a lot of success with when he hurt Povetkin was stepping in with the jab and throwing the right fast after it. So he was blinding Povetkin with the jab.
Yeah.
Stepping in and throwing an overhand right. Which I'm not sure Dillian can do that. But when I watched AJ fighting Povetkin, AJ's jab was pretty ineffective.
Right.
He was just sort of touching him to the body with it, more to just keep him at bay than do anything with it. But what was interesting was when Povetkin was coming in, AJ was catching him with left hooks on the way in. Now, if Dillian can do that, he will spark him.
Yeah, the left hook. But Povetkin has a nifty left hook of his hump.
Yeah, but it's the reach thing. So Dillian's definitely going to have the reach on him. So Povetkin's going to have to come in.
Which is what Povetkin does.
Yeah, he does do it. So, but what AJ was doing was tapping him to the body with the jab.
Yeah.
And then every so often catching him with the left hook instead when he was coming in. So he was varying that tactic and he was getting quite a lot of success with it. Now, Povetkin got his own left hooks in on AJ as well. And I'm sure Povetkin's going to get hooks in on Dillian. I don't think Dillian's going to come through this without going through some pain.
Yeah.
But I just found, because that Dillian's got long arms, and he's got a pretty broad shoulders, so like he's listed as a 78-inch reach, but I do wonder if it's a bit more than that. But either way, he's got, even at that, he's got like a 2-inch reach advantage on Povetkin, hasn't he?
Yes.
Or possibly no, it's Povetkin as low as 74. Povetkin's got like utter arms. He's not. He's a bit of a T-Rex, isn't he?
T-Rex. He's
going to have to come in, which he is very skilled at doing. But he can be caught with the left hook on the way in, which is what I picked up on from watching those two fights. I don't know that Dillian can step in with a jab and then follow it up with a very fast right hand, which is what Hunter got success with. But if he can, I mean, that would be great. But I'm not sure he can do that.
Yeah.
So, so anyway, in terms of predictions, I'm going to go with a late stoppage for Dillian.
Okay.
But the caveat on that is I can still see Povetkin knocking Dillian out.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what their gas tanks are like for both of them, because people seem to have this idea that Povetkin gasses and that's it. He doesn't. Povetkin gets a second win. So he has spells in where he goes missing.
Yeah.
And he comes back again.
Yes.
He finished a stronger fighter against Hunter.
Yeah, well, that's one of my points. Is that
and against Fury.
Yeah, that's my point. When people think he's finished just based on his age, I don't think he's finished at all. I think he's got a lot left in the tank. He's aged well. He has aged very, very well. And
I think he's actually learned to pace himself effectively as well.
Yeah. He does conserve his energy. He does use his energy efficiently. Not everybody does. But
the only thing with what Povetkin does with his energy is it can go against him when it's on the scorecards. That's the only thing I'd say. But he's going to be competitive anyway.
It's going to be a competitive fight, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Okay, so just seeing a headline here saying Hunter backs Povetkin to beat Whyte. A knockout is a very possible. Very possible. But with that, let me get into the chat. See what people are saying about this fight. Where are we? Yeah, 6'2". John's right. It's probably rounded out. Whyte by stoppage, between 8 and 12, says James Jameson. Whyte KO in the 10th, says Aaron Dealey, who is up in the building. Whyte.
It's a daily, that one.
Daily. Aaron Daily, absolutely. Whyte points or Povetkin by KO, says Hamed. Whyte to lose 2 rounds, box on the back foot, and take Pov out late with a lucky punch from the guards, a lucky left. I'm still split. What is this? Well, okay, there we are. I'm still split, but Whyte is the favorite. Not sure if it ends in a KO or goes 12. Yeah. It could go 12. It could go 12. Remember, Whyte dropped Parker twice and finished pretty tired, dog tired, as a matter of fact, in the last round. But
I think Dillian looks like he's in better shape.
He's in better shape this time, though.
So, well, it hasn't translated yet because that's just the eye test, isn't it?
The eye test.
I want to see if it translates to a better gas tank.
It needs to translate to a better gas tank. He needs his.
He's consistently had a bad gas tank for me.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen him display a good gas tank.
But if he's going to display a good gas tank, well, now's the time. Now's the time for that.
But he might put him away in the middle rounds, though. And then he might not need one. Yeah. But the thing is, the only person who's ever taken out Povetkin is Joshua. I think. When did Joshua take him out? Was it in the 5th round or the 7th? 7th.
The 7th. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean to say Dillian can't do it. Because,
no, it don't.
Well, there's 2 things. Because it's already happened, it's probably easier to repeat it. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the general view on these things. If you just got cracked, once you've got cracked, you can get cracked again.
Well, your brain actually remembers it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of medical research into how to combat that, but boxing isn't ideally set up to put those things into place because it means as soon as you get knocked out, going into a dark room, which you can't really do in a boxing situation. Also, Povetkin's got that bit older.
Yes, it's a little bit older.
Your chin definitely deteriorates with age. There's no question about that.
Yeah, that seems to be the general view. I don't think there's many people saying that your chin gets better with age. I don't think there's been many examples of that. None come immediately.
I've got one actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ali.
Who? Ali? His chin got better. His chin got better.
Yeah.
Did it?
Well, he took a hellacious beating off
George Foreman.
Yeah, and yet Henry's hammer put him down. So you could at least make the case.
There's an argument there. There is certainly an argument there. Different types of punches, different types of some punches are more thudding.
You could say that there's other variables.
Placement is another variable. Lots of variables.
George wasn't a very accurate puncher. And he didn't really knock people out. He sort of beat people into submission.
Yes. Yui Fury, shades of Ali. Povetkin was finished in 2015. Took Peds to stay young. This is a joke fight. Well, that's an interesting hypothesis. I don't see how this could be a joke with both guys so high level.
The thing about the Peds situation is Povetkin got caught for Peds. There's no question he has been caught cheating. However, there's no doubt he was heavily tested against AJ. And I thought he put a good performance. I mean, it was a losing performance, but it was credible.
Which fight was that?
Against AJ.
Yeah.
It didn't change the world, but it was certainly credible.
It was certainly credible.
He didn't look like he was being outclassed like someone like Eric Molina or something.
Certainly not. So
and he's gone on under Matchroom, who are vigorous at testing people, to put in decent performances against Huey Fury, Hunter. Knocking out Price isn't necessarily big shakes, but still, he's put in some good performances.
He has put in some very solid
tested during those performances.
Yeah, absolutely. Ahmed writes, is Povetkin more durable than Parker, Rivas, and Helenas? Well, I think he's as durable as Rivas, and he's as durable as Helenas. Parker is quite durable.
I'd say he's more durable than Helenas.
Yeah.
He went 12 with Vlad.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did with Vlad.
And Vlad hit him with some heavy shots and leaned on him for 12 rounds.
Him with some heavy shots, leaned on him for 12 rounds and tried to pull him down to the ground multiple times.
And that'll tire you out.
And that will indeed. So
I'd say Povetkin's, he's tough. He's mentally tough.
Yeah. Well, Dillian Whyte says himself that you could see it in his eyes. He's a serious man, and he's come to do the business. Those are Dillian Whyte's words in relation to Povetkin. Big Simpin. What's Big Simpin on about? Wish I never went live now. No wonder they stayed quiet. I wish I never went live now. No wonder they stayed quiet. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell is going on there.
Anyway, getting back to Povetkin.
Yeah.
He's a genuine top 10 heavyweight.
He is.
In the current situation, based on his last performance, even against Hunter.
Based on his last performance against Hunter, yes, I agree.
Eddie Hearn came under a lot of flack for letting Hunter go, as if he was this amazing fighter. But now we're hearing from all sorts of different places that Povetkin's shot is a joke. He's no good.
Yeah,
you can't give Eddie stick for letting Hunter go because he's a good heavyweight, and then rubbish Povetkin at the same time. It's got to be one of the other.
100%. And with that, we got to get into Mauricio Suleiman's words that if Whyte wins this fight, he is next. Damn, I don't know who that is. I ain't got time to talk right now. Okay, John, do you want to talk about that for a second? Whyte is next while I mute myself.
Well, they're definitely serious about calling this mandatory for Dillian Whyte. AJ's mandatories have been called, as far as I'm aware, as well. WBO has to be fought after AJ fights Pulev.
Yeah.
So it would just seem to me that there isn't really a problem with any of this. The biggest issue I have personally, is the fact that we don't have dates for AJ Pulev and we don't have dates for Wilder Fury. Although I am interested, because we've talked about this before. The deadline for that in the contract was October, wasn't it, for the Fury and Wilder rematch?
Say that again, sorry.
Do you remember we looked at the rematch situation and the contract with Wilder and Fury, and the fight had to happen by October. So I was putting it forward when there was a thought that we might get the undisputed fight as a way out for Fury.
Yeah.
And then there'd be the counter argument of the force majeure. So, but that could go either way, because you can't just let it continue indefinitely.
Yes, you can't just keep on rolling up, keep on rolling over. So
I'm not sure whether some of the talk in the press is Fury trying to force Wilder to hurry up or to get out of the rematch.
Yeah.
But Bob keeps pressing with the rematch. And I don't see what mileage he's got, because it didn't look like it made a huge amount of money last time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know if it made a huge amount of money for the promoters, etc. But those guys did get well paid. I think the margins
but I'm on about
aren't attractive to the promoters, perhaps.
Bob's the one who keeps pushing it in the press, though, and Bob pushing it is the one I don't understand.
Well, Bob's pushing it on the basis of a crowd. If they get crowds, because they got
even with the crowd, did the promoters make a lot of money?
Well, no.
They overpaid the fighters so much.
Yeah. Those guys are overpaid.
So why do you want to go to all that trouble to not make a heck of a lot of money? Doesn't make any sense, because I don't think there's a huge appetite for the third fight. I haven't seen a buzz for it.
Huge appetite for the third fight. Is there? Hamed is in the building. Is there a huge appetite for the third fight? WBC Morrow says that the winner of the next fight, the trilogy fight between Fury and Wilder, must fight Whyte. Hamed, come in. How do you do?
All right, yes. I was just listening. I did not hear what he said, because I think I got a notification that Ring IQ made some sort of video about Mauricio Sulaiman saying something. What did he say? Because I haven't been online. I was eating my dinner. And
I can't find him saying it today. But what he has said is that the winner of Fury Wilder must fight Whyte next. So there's no messing around. There's no going for unification. There's no talk about them fighting each other for a fourth time. If Wilder wins, it's just straight. No, listen.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, it's Dillian Whyte.
The only thing is, when are we going to see that fight? Because that fight did well at the live gate, and I think it did good on pay-per-view as well. You could say that. For two guys that have never really cracked 1 million pay-per-view buys in America, I think they did just under 1 million or about 1 million. So that's a big fight. The only thing I'd say with that fight is, if it gets delayed till next year, then the thing is, I don't know if that's over the date. Like, if they got some sort of contractual date where you can't have it later than December, then I'm not sure if that fight happens, because
there's no. I don't think there's a cutoff date. I don't think there's a cutoff date, because they're talking about doing it in February. Well,
that's the thing.
In February, yeah.
Yeah, but
the thing with the cutoff date, though, Rafi, is if Wilder's called the rematch, they're not going to try and find a way to get out of the fight, i.e., use a cutoff date. So that falls onto Bob, and that's where I'm confused, because Bob doesn't look like he wants to get out of that fight, even though I don't see how he's making any money out of it.
Well, clearly he's making.
Bob thinks that's a. Sorry, I was just going to say Bob thinks that's a much bigger fight than the Whyte fight. Because let's be real, Whyte and Fury in America, that's not a big fight. Obviously, it should be happening. If that fight happened, that should be happening in the UK. But I think with the contract to go with ESPN, I don't think Fury will fight outside the UK unless it's against Joshua, because the money for the Joshua fight is so big that that's one fight you could fight outside and make back whatever the money you want. But with the Wilder fight, I think they really want that fight to happen because of the contractual obligation they got. But the money they want from the pay-per-view. The thing is, so if the WBC have set a date, then that's a tricky situation. It's kind of bad because we don't even know what's going on, like when there could be a crowd, and we also don't know if Wilder and his team actually even want that fight to happen this year, because we haven't really heard from him.
I think that what Mauricio has said is that as soon as there's a winner, of that fight between Fury and Wilder, as soon as there's a winner, he wants negotiations to start 24 hours after.
Yeah,
what happened?
And that's how it could be put forward as a delay to Dillian getting his title shot, because it was supposed to be the 21st of February next year.
Yeah. That's the date.
So if they fight after that, what Mauricio has given the green light for is for Dillian to have to wait until that fight has happened, basically.
Well, he's going to have to wait until that fight. Yeah, that's likely. It's likely that he'll have to wait until that fight happens. Yeah, that's likely. That's the most likely.
But what Mauricio could have done is say, if you don't fight Dillian by the date that we have specified, we're going to strip you, to force them to have the fight earlier.
That would be fair.
You see, so that's how you could say Mauricio is actually making Dillian wait for longer. Do you see what
they care about the money? Yeah, they just care about what's the biggest fight and the fight that'll get them the more money.
I think they've got it wrong though, because Fury Dillian in the UK, I actually think would do huge numbers.
That'd be a huge fight, I think.
Oh, yeah,
And,
no.
and I don't think Wilder Fury in America 3 is going to tank.
I don't think ESPN are gonna let Fury cross over again unless it's against Joshua. Because that fight.
No, I think you're right. I just think they're making a huge miscalculation.
Oh yeah, I get that. I think Wilder Fury 3, the third fight in the UK will be bigger than it is in America because we've seen the second fight. Yeah.
But the other thing is, how many fights has Fury got left on his ESPN contract? Because hasn't he got 5 fights on there?
He's got 5
He's
fights.
had 3. He's had 3 in it.
What was the first fight? The first fight was
Schwartz.
No, Schwartz, wasn't it? Schwartz, Wallin, Wilder 2.
Schwartz, Wallin, second Wilder fight. Has he had one since the second Wilder fight?
No. That was only February this year.
Okay, so that's 3.
So
the fourth one is Wilder again.
One is Wilder again.
And they obviously don't want Dillian to be the 5th one.
They want Joshua to be the 5th. That's what they're trying to.
But Joshua's not available.
Yeah. I mean, it'll depend what happens. If Povetkin beats Whyte, I don't think anyone wants to see Povetkin and Fury instead of Joshua.
Well, has anybody seen anything about a rematch clause in this fight?
No.
I heard that first I heard Whyte was entitled to a rematch, but then someone said recently on Twitter, I can't remember who it was, that if Whyte loses, there's no rematch clause. So basically, if Povetkin wins, I think he's in line to fight the winner of the Wilder Fury fight.
I don't think so. No. That Mauricio was careful not to say that. He didn't mention Povetkin at all. So Povetkin isn't in the equation.
No, but what if Povetkin wins? Whyte will lose.
If Povetkin wins, he doesn't take Whyte's place.
Whyte loses his position, though. That's the thing.
Whyte loses his position, but Povetkin doesn't take his place. If you understand, right?
Mauricio will make a new rule in, basically.
Yeah.
So what will happen is Povetkin will become the interim and diamond champion, and then Dillian's mandatory position will be cancelled, and then the WBC will vote on what's going to happen with the mandatory.
Yeah. Yes. That's the situation right there in a nutshell. What else is there that I want to cover in this quick one? Dillian 18 stone, Fury. DAZN rejects. All right, might as well touch this one while we're here. DAZN rejects Avni Vildarin. As you go first on that one, then. But let me set it up for the people. Okay, so DAZN, the WBC have instituted Canelo Alvarez as the guy who's going to fight their mandatory, who is the Turkish Avni Yildirim. We all know that David Benavidez lost his belt on the scales when he didn't make weight, and now the WBC super middleweight title is up for grabs. Avni Yildirim is the guy who was in the mandate position. David Benavidez drops out because they get stripped because he didn't make the weight. And now they have instituted Canelo Alvarez as the guy who's going to fight Avni Yildirim. And it's caused a lot of concern, consternation. From my position, I thought my position was that the franchise, as it was described by Suleiman, was a king. So I thought that they would put somebody in like Callum Smith. He put his name in the hat. They put somebody like Callum Smith in. He would fight Yildirim. You would now have the WBC super middleweight king, and then the super middleweight king would fight the franchise king. So it would be king versus king. A king only fight king. That's what I thought. But they didn't go that route. Ahmed, your observations?
I don't think anyone wants to see this fight. I think I've seen Yildirim fight once live, and I think I might have seen him once other time. And to my knowledge, the only thing he's known for is getting knocked out by Eubank in 2 rounds and losing to Darrell, I think it was, on cuts.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be a mandatory challenger. Like, I think what they should have done is, I don't know if they did. They should have ordered a rematch between him and Darrell, because that was some sort of controversial stoppage. Yeah, I think that was last year. It might have been 2019. But with Benavidez losing his belt, they could have chosen, I mean, several other guys to fight Canelo for this. I don't know what Canelo's going to do, though. That's the thing. I heard that Canelo wanted to fight Billy Joe Saunders or Callum Smith. I know those fights are not going to happen probably this year. They're unlikely. But the thing is he going to want to fight at 168 or 160? It's most likely he is going to fight at 168 now that the WBC offering him basically a belt to fight for a vacant belt. But we still don't know what exactly he wants to do. But I don't think anyone wants to see that fight, and it's good that DAZN have turned that fight down.
DAZN have turned the fight down and said they don't want to pay him for that. They don't want to pay him for that at all. They want to cut him down to 20 mil. Allegedly, I don't think I've seen them writing that, but it has been reported that they have said that. They have not come out in print and said that themselves, as far as I'm aware. But that is the word around the campfire for his next fight. They only want to pay him 20, and they don't want to pay him a penny for the Yildirim fight. John D. Lee, as we come close to the end.
Well, Canelo went on record saying he wanted a tune-up. And DAZN said they didn't want to pay him his full rate for a tune-up. So what this looks like to me is, because Canelo petitioned the WBC to fight Yildirim for this title, even though Canelo can't win it, and if Canelo wins the fight, the title remains vacant. So I think Canelo did this as a way to try and make a tune-up look good to DAZN, and it's blown up in his face.
OMG. And now there's a legal quagmire now about who can do what. What can Canelo do in response to that?
Well, Canelo can just fight a decent opponent. He's getting paid 32 million a fight. I don't know if there's any clauses in there about if he loses.
I would imagine.
He might still be on the same money even with a loss, because Canelo's appeal is more than just his record and his status as a champion.
What's his appeal?
Well, it's hard for us to get it, but as far as I can understand them, things that I've heard people who are Hispanic, he's a bit kind of, he's just got the appeal with the ladies.
Wow.
He's got the appeal as a superstar.
Okay.
More like a kind of Ronaldo type figure, but in boxing in Mexico.
Okay. We don't get that over here. We don't get that over here.
Well, we don't speak Spanish and we don't watch Spanish TV.
Yeah.
But the Hispanic people in America, that's actually the way they talk about him. So I think Canelo can take a loss. Particularly if it's not £160. So I don't know if he'd take a pay cut if he got a loss, but he's got to fight decent opponents. I mean, that's the bottom line. So far, he's fought Rocky Fielding, which was a complete give-me fight.
Yep.
He's fought Danny Jacobs, which was respectable, decent fight. Nothing wrong with that. I think it was a unification fight as well. No issues there. And then he fought Sergei, which to me was a bit of smoke and mirrors. He gave him a real short turnaround from his previous fight. There was a few things in the contract which I didn't see the need for, like the rehydration clause. You know, and people were saying, well, it's the rehydration clause. It's something he used to do a couple of years ago. Why should it matter? But if it doesn't matter, why have you put it in the contract? So
how do you see the thing playing out with DAZN and Canelo? How do you who wins? Does Canelo bow to?
Well, I know who wins. DAZN win, but they have to pay him his full rate. The simple fact is, DAZN call the shots with who he fights, and Canelo gets paid what he's contractually obligated to be paid. That's how it will work.
Well, DAZN, of course, they furlonged a lot of people.
I'm not sure Canelo's fighting this year. If he doesn't agree to fight someone significant,
yeah,
I think they'll leave him on the bench.
Yeah. So the question is, could they furlong Canelo?
Of course he can.
Yeah.
If he's talking about fighting this caliber of opposition and trying to pretend like it's some sort of world title fight,
yeah,
a world title he can't even win.
Mm.
The best thing that they can do, and there's nothing that I don't see how Canelo can stop them, is they just bench him.
Yeah, yeah, they can furlong Canelo. That's the question. Can they furlong Canelo? Hamed.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the whole Canelo situation. I know I've heard people say he's being a bit of a drama queen and stuff like that. Yeah, that as well. And he's not taking a pay cut, but at the same time, I've heard a lot of guys have turned down a fight with him. I remember someone reported that Charlo could have fought him, and Charlo fought Tevchenko instead. I'm not saying these guys were wrong to do it. I'm just trying to paint a picture that there have been fights that guys have turned down who would have had the big fight with Canelo, and I'm pretty sure it's Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith. I don't know what's going on with Callum Smith.
Callum Smith is also to blame for this situation.
Yeah.
Because he was definitely offered $5 million or something. He wanted 7. And they were holding out for 7. And at the end of the day, Callum Smith can't draw flies in the UK.
That's true.
Like he can't. I don't care whether you think he's a good boxer or not. He's not a big ticket seller. He's not a big name. He's not going to do big pay-per-view numbers. But I think a large part of that blame has to go on Joe Gallagher.
Yeah.
And I think Callum Smith needs to get as far away from Tesco Joe as humanly possible. Because I think it's limiting his boxing ability as well.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what they're trying to do. I have heard they wanted Canelo to come over to Anfield, but as a B-side, you can't dictate where you want to fight Canelo, because that fight's not always going to be there, because we know that the Zone want to make the Golovkin-Canelo fight, and I'm pretty sure that fight will happen, if not next May, probably September, because the Zone need that fight badly now with the whole pandemic.
I think that's one of the big issues, is Canelo's refusing to fight Triple J.
I think it'll happen in the end.
The Zone are going to force him to fight him in Cinco de Mayo next year. I haven't got any buzz for that fight at all, because I just think Triple G is a ghost of whatever he was, however good you think he was.
I agree. But I think Canelo will accept it.
On it. Do you think he will? Because he's been moaning about doing it.
But the thing you got to look at, he didn't want to fight him too soon, because they fought in 2017 September. They were meant to fight in 2018 May. Then they fought in 2018 September. I believe. I think Golovkin wanted the fight to happen instead of the Jacobs fight. But obviously, Jacobs had a title because he beat Tevchenko. I just think 2019 September, I think it would have been a bit too much, to be fair, because that would have been 3 Septembers in a row. I think we needed to see something different. So I was kind of happy with the Kovalev fight, although I agree with you. I wasn't happy with the way they made that fight. They made it on their own terms. And Kovalev almost got knocked out by Yad. He didn't have the greatest time to prepare for a guy like Canelo. So that I wasn't happy with. But the fight on paper, I thought was good for the Zone. And although I don't think it was the best time, because it was in November and they were up against a very big UFC fight. But anyways, in the long term, I thought it might have done a good service for them. But I don't know what they're gonna do now. I think without Golovkin and Canelo, if they can't make that without that fight, if they can't make any of the big fights, then I don't know. I really don't know what Canelo can do, because he's not another big draw around those weight classes. Like Callum Smith might be big in Liverpool, but he's not really that big of a draw. Billy Joe Saunders is virtually unknown. I think Canelo's in a tough situation, and he's not helping himself at all.
So, I think it's been. Yeah, I think it has. It looks like the zone might be in a position to furlough. Yeah, I think that's how I said, to furlough Canelo. So if Canelo doesn't want to play ball, it looks, because they've done it before. The zone have done it to other parties before. They've done it with other contracts. They've furloughed certain contracts, and it looks possible. If the reports are, there's some background noise, Hamed, there's some background noise.
Still, all right,
it looks possible that the zone could furlough Canelo. That looks a distinct possibility if the reports that we hear are true. And yeah, I'm getting them out of here. There's some peculiar characters who have come up in here. I don't know why. This is not the place for you. It's not the place for the people who have come in here with some crazy, asinine statements. But yeah, looks like Canelo could be furloughed if he doesn't play ball. Who the hell wants to see him against Yildirim? Who the hell wants to see that? Nobody other than Canelo's bank account and certain members of Yildirim's family. Perhaps not even.
Mauricio wants to see it, right?
Mauricio, hell yeah! Mauricio wants to see it too.
Mauricio can't get enough of that ginger love.
Mauricio wants to see it too. But outside of that, no, it's going to be very interesting to see how this thing plays out. We've come to the end of the show. Just wanted to get an early one in for you guys. Probably do a later one, a shorter one later on this evening. But I definitely felt the urge to go live right now. I'll be MIA for a day. I don't like that, so I had to come in and get some good content out there for the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio crew and everybody worldwide. Your final words, Hamed.
Yeah, I'm just going to say thanks for having me on. I will say this. With the DAZN situation, they played it wrong with Canelo and signing a guy like Golovkin. I thought they overpaid him without the guarantee of a Canelo fight, and essentially they've paid, I was reading, about almost $100 million for Golovkin to fight guys like Steve Rolls. Who else he fought? I think the guy he's fighting is Zaramata, who's going to be his mandatory, and
Derevyanchenko.
That was a good fight.
That was a good fight.
But they've overpaid him. They look like they've overpaid him. And the mistake they made was they should have offered him the deal they offered Wilder, which was basically a guarantee of a fight with Joshua. I think it was like a 2 or 3 fight package, and they should have done the same to Canelo. But I think they were so focused on the whole branding and name of Canelo signing to him that they lost the focus of what they wanted in the end. And I'm not sure. I think in the end, the zone are the ones who will call the shots. Whether or not the Golovkin fight happens, it might be a bit too late now. Like if that fight keeps getting stalled and Canelo still hasn't fought this year, that fight could get pushed back to next September, and that might be a bit too late. But I think the zone are in a tricky situation, and I don't know how long they'll put up with a guy like Canelo.
Much appreciated, Hamed. Much appreciated for dropping in. Look forward to a later show. Might do a quick later one. So thanks for popping in. And John D. Lee, your final words before we close. John D. Lee.
I'm just looking forward to the fight tomorrow, Raf.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm pretty excited. I've predicted for Dillian, but I can see it going the other way.
Yeah.
I think it's a genuinely good fight.
Genuinely good fight. Both guys are in good condition, look to be in great condition. I'm looking forward to it. You're looking forward to it. Hamed's looking forward to it. I think the boxing world is looking forward to it. And can Canelo be furloughed by the zone? I think he can. I think he can. So what else is there to say? I don't think there's nothing left to say. We've done it.
I think
yeah.
I think there's one good fight that might have went under the radar. Joe Smith and LD Alvarez. I think it's on ESPN. I'm not sure if it's in the UK, but outside the Dillian Whyte fight, that's a really good fight. Obviously, we got the women's fight, but that's a really good fight. I think that might be the fight of the night on paper. Just look at that style-wise.
Yeah, absolutement. Okay, folks, so we've done it, and now we all got to get out of here. We got the rest of the Friday to deal with, and so much appreciation to everybody who took time out to come over here and to join in with the show. Much appreciation, and all being well, I'll probably see you later on for another live one, for a quicker one. And what is there else left to say other than blessed?